The views and opinions expressed on this station do not reflect the owners, management, staff, clients, or partners. Medical House presents Bermuda's most viewed and listened to talk show. The Daily Hour starts now.
It's Thursday, the 29th day of October. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zool and Sherry Lynn Pringle. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Share the link, start a watch party, just get the conversation out there to your network. A very, very, very important conversation today as we welcome Dr. Francene Gayle to the show to discuss stroke awareness. That's important, very important, and I look forward to the conversation. The Daily Play is a name that place, so Carla and I are guessing, I was going to say a popular location, but I just don't get anything popular about the locations that Shari gives us, so I'm just
under a rock, behind a hill, under the cement, around the tree.
Exactly, right? Dude, come on. But
expand your travel horizons.
Yes, expand our travel horizons. Let's just hope that as you expand them, you remember where you're taking us on vacation. Once is enough, Shari. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, it only happened once." Guys, I'm in a hotel room, so obviously I don't look like I'm ready for work. I look like I have fish on my shirt, so I'm actually ready for vacation today. So
jealous.
I'm showing off.
Show off, yeah.
Even got me a little mask because I have to wear this, right? A little mask.
It looked like a pair of underpants.
Really? That's where you're gonna go? Do we have where's the thing? The thing that we're putting over the mask. What is it called? The shield. Yeah, we have shields and everything. Let me show you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went on Amazon. We got about 5 shields for $5, and so I think they were well. I'm gonna say the $5 so that people don't really know how much I spent on. All right, here we go. So here's my shield. Right, here's the shield.
Hey, now
I'm
ready. You're ready.
I'm ready. Thank you. Oops. So I'm in a makeshift studio, and look, like I say, people, honestly, I remember years ago, I think Steve Harvey, is he the one that used to come to the music festival every year in Bermuda? I think it was Steve Harvey, and they would have to bring equipment and all this. And I have like the radio board with me, and I have this case and everything. This is what we do for you all. We carry it. We go on the road for you. You know what I'm saying? I have one of the mics right here. Testing, 1, 2. Yep, that worked. We are good to go. Can you guys tell I'm like giddy excited to like
So do you have your fancy music and your sounds and when Carla gets the it's okay.
Even taking the gum bears with me down to Antigua, right?
Oh my goodness. You're giving me life.
we have everything. And this is the joy of technology and the age we're living in. And I am actually I know you're happy not to see or hear me, but I'm not feeling the same way. I'm gonna miss you all. I am gonna miss you all. Yeah. I'm not gonna cry in front of you. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna miss you. But look, I'm excited about our guest today, Dr. Francene Gayle, coming on to speak about strokes. I know a lot of people, including myself, we've been impacted by people who have suffered strokes. So definitely looking forward to that conversation. I don't have my pad with me today, you guys. And people. The reason I keep a notepad is because I understand that I don't remember a lot of things off the top of my head. So I don't have my notepad to check right or check off what we're going to discuss. But I want to continue a conversation that we started yesterday. And that conversation, I know Shari wasn't here at the time, was the whole residency with the gentleman, Mr. Smith. And so a lot of people gave insight. But what I did yesterday is I read the comments from some of the people in the articles. And I don't want to go here because there's a US election coming up. I really don't want to get into it. But it just, did you guys notice the kind of people who were supporting him?
No, I didn't read the comments, Mal, but I can guess what you're going to say.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Let's just say there were a lot of, they call themselves patriots. Yeah. So I found that very interesting. How he, you have a look at things and say, who supports a person kind of almost defines a bit about them.
So do you mean people that live in the Trumposity of it all?
Yeah, it was a lot of that.
I
But
made
have
up
you
that
seen
word.
the lawns that he does when he posts about his lawns? Most of them are like in those types of areas. I'm like, I feel sorry. I'm like, be safe, bro, because some of those areas are rough for a black man. But
Were they in them there wood, Sherry?
them there are woods that you might not be able to find your way out of.
Really?
I when I lived in Texas, I left after 12 years, but I got a jury duty notice just before I left, and I shouldn't have because I had never applied to have citizenship or anything. I've never wanted it really, but it's interesting. I don't know how long he's been out there because I honestly did not read the story about it because
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, I think he said 15.
Pretty much, I mean, I don't say entitled to it, but went through the process and got denied, right?
Well, see, I saw a comment by a spouse of a Bermudian yesterday and was saying that all the Bermudians who were saying that he deserves residency in the U.S., if the shoe was on the other foot, they probably wouldn't be saying that about someone in Bermuda. And I
Didn't I say that yesterday? Exactly.
They actually have a point because I think Bermudians, and probably in their own right, rightfully so, would say, oh, well, there was no guarantee you knew it. And that's how I feel. Like I've been in this US for a while, and I always understood my expiration date. This country owes me nothing. It doesn't. And I think that's where, we need to get past. But want to transition before we get to the news and then on. So yesterday I was on Twitter, and we have to, honestly, folks, I'm not even kidding here because I am so disappointed in a couple people. So disappointed.
I hope it's not me.
You're one of them. But anyway,
always.
She just knows, folks. I came across something, and I don't know how I guess stuff ends up in your Twitter feed if someone of who you follow likes something or whatever, follow something. So I came across something, and I just scrolled so fast because I'm like, no, we're not doing this. Drake, the rapper singer guy, right? Is he a rapper or a singer?
Depends.
Oh, he's like a bipolar performer or something, like depending on mood.
It's an actor too.
Oh, okay. So he's an entertainer, right? So Drake puts raisins in his mac and cheese, right?
Wait. What? In his macaroni and cheese?
I read on Twitter. Now, see, things on Twitter you got to take with a grain of salt because, there are a lot of false things that get said on Twitter. I mean, especially politically, if you get what I'm saying. But it said that Drake puts raisins in his mac and cheese. Now, I thought, hold on. I was saying.
Ooh, that's disappointing.
Disappointed. I thought it was there when they put raisins in their potato salad.
But I think his disappointment really is with me if it's going where I think it's going.
You know where I'm going with this because I see that. Then a couple hours later, I can't even remember who, but someone says
Shay Gibbons,
cousin Shay. Somebody puts raisins right in what was it?
Carrot cake. Who doesn't like raisins?
No. That was fine, Carla. But tell them what you said also.
I like raisins in my cornbread. My grandmother, may she rest in heavenly peace, is my favorite person in the world. She used to put raisins in her cornbread. So it's funny. My daughter made some the other day, and I was like, "Can you put some raisins in it?" She was like, "Lady, are you crazy?" But my granny, that's all she used to put in it. Not a whole lot, but just spackles of raisins. It adds a burst of sweet.
Carla.
Wow.
No one's never heard of raisins in cornbread?
No.
Carla.
Really?
Carla.
But yet you all eat pumpkin and avocado.
You mean that good stuff? Yeah. But
No, seriously. It's delicious.
I
With
think
butter,
we used to use
cheese.
raisins instead of sugar, just to sweeten stuff up. Like I put raisins in my oatmeal instead of sugar, because when it dissolves, it becomes sweet. But not cornmeal.
Cornbread.
Cornbread
Yes.
either.
But listen, there's one person in the comments who understands, and she's from Bakaton too. So thank you.
No. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. You're not going to act like this is some back of town thing. You're not do this. No. Let's be very clear, folks. This is a call. No, let me just say this. We love Granny as well, because without Granny, you wouldn't be here to give us, this kind of
entertainment.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it that. Now, Carla, you ever heard, a lot of people say it. You've ever heard people say, sometimes we have to unlearn all we've been taught.
Well, my children don't like raisins in food. So, like, my daughter was like, "Nah, lady, nah, it ain't happening." I was like, "Just sprinkle some on the end." So I would have the end piece. She was like, "That is disgusting." But it's really good. Not a whole lot, just a little sprinkle here and there.
You know what? Don't say that with your chest, though. It's getting bad. Diana Millet Pratt says, yes, there's a taxi driver that makes cornbread with raisins, and it does take good. You're not that taxi driver, are you sure?
No.
What is it?
Cornbread? No.
I thought it may have been being called out or something. So
no.
But enough about me. Drake likes raisins in his macaroni. That is nasty.
Hold on. I'm not saying Drake confirmed this. I just saw the headline that said that, and again, it was said on Twitter. So I'm just saying
it's true. Then
if that's nasty, right? She said it's true. If that's true, Carla, I'm gonna say you and Drake are probably distant cousins.
No, Jamal, that's not even fair. I can it. Potato salad, that's gross. But if you come on, sweet cornbread is sweet and decadent, and a little raisins give it a burst of.
Well, put it this way here, Carla. Put it this way. You got a couple of friends you go visit for dinner when you get back to Bermuda. You have a Shauna Mahum who's going to have your raisins in the corn.
That's right, Shauna.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my.
That's right, Kathy. I'm with you, too. Raisins in your coleslaw. What is wrong with you people? You don't put raisins in your coleslaw?
Okay. Let me put it another way for you.
I quit.
Put it another way for you. Would you eat grapes?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what raisins are, no?
Yeah, but different forms. Come on, Jamal, behave. You lot do not put raisins in homemade coleslaw?
You know what, Carla? We should have given up on you when you said you didn't like things like bananas, avocado, like good fat and potassium and stuff like that. We should have given up on you then. But you know what? We said, no, we're going to help this young lady. We're going to work with her. And
we're failing. We're
doing a terrible job.
We need an intervention.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
I'm not even taking you two on.
What's going to happen?
You put mayonnaise on your peas and rice, don't you? Because I don't like mayonnaise either. I don't like mayonnaise, but I know one of you two do.
I do.
Speaking of mayo, before we head to the news, speaking of mayo, serious question.
Like how I changed the girl.
What's those things in Bermuda? A cream puff? Is it called
cream puff?
Is a cream puff a Bermudian thing? Because I've never ever seen them outside of Bermuda.
I think so.
But you're hard pressed to find the back in the day cream puffs. I had one the other day, and it was like I threw one of them out. I just couldn't go through it. It was not sweet. It's just not what I'm used to. It's different. And the bun wasn't. I just want what we used to have back.
Yeah.
Like raisins and coleslaw.
On that note, let's just go through a few comments. Raisins and cornbread, Carl. I mean, she's yelling at you. Potato salad, coleslaw. Like people can't believe it. Look,
I'm
someone.
not potato salad. I do not do potato salad. Let's not spread rumors, people.
No. He's not saying that. He's letting those know who potato salad and coleslaw fans of it. Lindsay Kipps Givens, maybe Drake had a bad caterer. Well, I mean, it could have been Carla based on this conversation. Charles H. Jeffers, too. I actually think raisins and cornbread is as nasty as having them in mac and cheese. It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. And I will fight that to the tooth and nail. It is not.
Yeah. These people are uncultured. That is gross. Well, I mean, you all are saying it. Carla is my friend. I am her defending her. Okay, this is.
We need community intervention here. This is
absolutely. Absolutely. Elizabeth, an abomination. Oh my God, and you don't eat watermelon ever? No, honestly, I don't eat watermelon. Dang, that's nasty. Watermelon.
Oh, look, that is bringing it to the food. Now, Sherry, your turn, because we're all got 6 degrees of separation of what we don't like. Come on, Sherry, you're the only kind of.
Everything I don't really eat is liver. I don't like liver.
And who eats liver?
Liver.
Exactly. So, see, I'm pretty normal.
No, that's not normal. But you know what? You know what's normal these days? Taking a vacation isn't. You know what else isn't normal these days? Getting on an airplane and sitting off at a fancy beach. And you know what? We're gonna go to the news, and then we're gonna bring on a special guest for the day.
Such a hater.
I can go catch a flight and put my feet up. How's that? You want to do the news, Carla?
I hope you come on vacation looking like a raisin. So Nikki can eat you. The first stage of restructure of the school system has started, according to Bermuda's Minister of Education, Diallo Raban. Mr. Raban says a team had been created to carry out research on how to carry out major changes, adding the Board of Education and advisory group Bermuda First have started discussions about the creation of an education authority. The Bermuda Redesign team was set up this month to help lead the Learning First program to tackle changes the government said were needed to create a fairer education system. It consists of a total of 54 people and includes teachers, school principals, government officials, and school board members. Bermuda Cancer and Health Center continues to be at the forefront of cancer care, providing the latest in breast cancer screening technology. After being the first facility in Bermuda to offer digital mammography in 2008 and the first 3D technology in 2017, the center has once again upgraded equipment to provide the women of Bermuda with the latest in mammography technology. The center's new Senograph Pristina with Duetta from GE Healthcare has been installed, providing patients with next-generation 3D digital mammography technology. Not being able to afford a mammogram does not need to prevent women from being screened annually, says CEO Lynn Woolrich. For women without health insurance and who are not able to afford the exam, the center's Equal Access Fund will cover the cost so no woman goes without. In news out of the U.S., CNN is reporting that 2 sisters are being held on attempted first-degree murder charges in Illinois for allegedly stabbing a store security guard for being told that they needed to wear a mask and use hand sanitizer. Excuse me. The sisters entered a retail store and got into a verbal altercation with the victim, a 32-year-old man who was working as a security guard, Chicago police have said. The Cook County State Attorney General's office said the man had told the sisters they had to wear a mask and, of course, use sanitizer. Their argument became physical when Jessica Hill, 21, pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the back, neck, and arms 27 times, according to the criminal complaint. Her 18-year-old sister, Jayla, held the victim down by his hair while the attack occurred, according to the complainant. The internet is everywhere these days, being accessed on phones and tablets. We're tied into our cameras, and it's also on our TVs. Wi-Fi is accessible from everywhere, from city buses to your neighborhood restaurants. And the world grows smaller every day as a result. Internet Day is a celebration of this culmination of computing and communication technology and the way it has brought all of our lives together. How can you celebrate? If you're watching on any of our social media platforms, you already are. Turning to weather with a mix of sun and clouds, Bermuda's high today is expected to reach 81. It's expected to be 56 in New York City and 58 in Brighton, UK. Don't forget, Medical House is your number one source of PPE supplies, masks, face shields, disinfectants, sanitizers, gloves, gowns, no-touch thermometers, and so much more at the lowest prices. Visit Medical House today at 22 Mill Reach Lane in Pembroke. And don't forget to tune into the full100radio.com tonight for Nighttime Jams featuring some of your favorite romantic classics. That's your Daily Hour news break.
Real quickly before we go to break and then bring Dr. Francene Gayle on, when I heard the weather report, I didn't hear you mention the temperature in Antigua. We're going to break. I'm on fire this morning.
Wait, can you please use that bleep bleep button?
Oh, sure. What you need?
Shut up!
We'll be right back. I'm sorry. I just had to.
Good day, Medical House Store speaking. Can I help you?
Medical House is Bermuda's leading one-stop shop for healthcare.
Medical House is a great resource for Lefroy. The service is excellent.
Medical House is best known for its uniforms and footwear. It has hundreds of styles of scrubs and nurses' uniforms for health professionals. Bermuda's top doctors, dentists, care homes, and the hospital choose Medical House for a wide range of products. These same professional quality products are available to you for home health care.
The biggest reason to come see us is that we specialize in these areas and the education and knowledge that we provide.
Medical House is on Millreach Lane in Pembroke, where there's private parking right outside the door. Call or visit Medical House today.
This month, we're featuring Evian Natural Spring Water, brought to us by John Barrett & Son. Evian water is among the best-known bottled mineral waters on the market and was one of the first, originating at sources on the south shore of Lake Geneva almost 2 centuries ago. It's good to know also that Evian has instituted extensive water management projects on 3 continents, working as the Evian Water Protection Institute to help address one of the world's major ongoing issues: access to safe, abundant water for all. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. It's the Daily Hour. Carla Tingle, myself, Jamel Hartman. Carla's support group for raisins is definitely growing out of here. Just want to thank you to Multimedia and Channel 82, as well as, if you don't know, I know we have a growing number of people that are watching on Channel 82 if they have One Communications cable. You can also check us on social media throughout Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We are a bit behind time because of the raisin incident. I apologize to you. It will never happen again, but we're going to welcome our guest for the day in Dr. Francene Gayle for a very important conversation. Good morning to you, madam. I'm so sorry you had to sit through the raisin fiasco today.
No, I know, but we're here for the intervention.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good morning, Dr. Gayle. Do not believe the hype. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Trust me, it's never this entertaining. We're usually a boring bunch of people. But thank you, honestly, for choosing our platform to have this important conversation. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Gayle is an internist and a neurologist, and with Bermuda Hospitals Board, we are having this conversation as a part of Stroke Awareness Week. That said, straight to the conversation, what are the main causes of strokes? And is there anything that individuals can do to prevent having one?
Okay, so at the top of the list, hypertension gets the prize. It's responsible for more than a third of the causes of stroke. Diabetes, high cholesterol. There are various heart conditions, whether you have ischemic heart disease, you've had a heart attack, you can actually have an abnormal heart rhythm as a result of that. And pretty much because of the changes that occur with aging. Also, drug use. So smoking and alcohol, those two are important cultural issues worldwide and even in Bermuda, and even inactivity and obesity. Unfortunately, Bermuda has a pretty significant challenge with overweight and obesity. So those are our usual suspects. There are other rarer conditions such as clotting issues that do play a role, for example, sickle cell disease. So what can you change? And I love the World Stroke Organization's plug for World Stroke Day. It says, join the movement. And it's inviting us to know what our risk factors are. So we've said all those risk factors. Now, what are you going to do about it? Because stroke is preventable. So for example, hypertension is a silent killer. We're inviting our youth, and note I say youth, from as early as their teens to get regular wellness checks, because our youngest stroke patient to date was actually 25. So you can imagine he actually had a diagnosis of hypertension from 15. And so you're not too young to start your prevention. So making sure that your blood pressure is less than 130/80. If you're diabetic, working with your physician to get your hemoglobin A1C less than 6. If you have high cholesterol, and some of the high cholesterol can be genetic, but for our diabetics, we want you to aim for a bad cholesterol that's less than 70. And for all others who may have one or more risk factors, and a bad cholesterol less than 100. So joining the movement invites you to quit smoking, decrease your alcohol intake, and actually start physical exercise. The American Heart Association recommends that we have 150 minutes per week of moderate cardiovascular exercise. So we have to get moving, literally.
That's actually, before you jump in, Carla, that when you think of that, that's not a lot of time, 150 minutes, you know?
Right.
But it's amazing because before I got to the point, you know, I was a bigger boy, and then Carla actually has pictures of that and reminds me sometimes, not in a bad way either. She just is shocked. But I say that because back then I didn't even find the time to be active. But you mentioned a few things before Carla jumps in that I just wanted to say. When you go through that stuff and you go to your doctor, I honestly, and people don't know this, there are times I'll be in conversation with Carla or some of these guys on the show, and they might hear beeping because I actually take my blood pressure. It probably annoys my wife. I take it up, I take it a lot. And so I monitor it. And I think that the way it's become habit for me, what you just explained, it should actually become habit for people as a way of prevention.
Yes. We are quite obsessed with our appearance, you know, selfies, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, but the true value is maintaining your health throughout the years and knowing your numbers. With all the gadgets that we have, as you've said, your watch, there's so many electronic ways to monitor yourself. We all have our Fitbit, we go walking, we know how many calories we're burning. There are a myriad of ways that we can get started. And I applaud you for making those changes. And Carla?
Please don't stop picking on me. You jump back there.
Look at that love for you. Love.
In fact, I was not going to pick on you until you said
avocado.
Avocado.
Yep, that's it.
Avocado.
Dr. Gayle, I'm trying. Because I know that it's good. My granny lived to be 97, had no health problems. She ate an egg and a half of an avocado every day. So I know the benefits, but it just looks disgusting.
The healthy fats, right? The healthy fats. We're encouraging that diet shift. And in fact, I hate the word diet. We're encouraging that lifestyle shift where we go to the healthy choices. And the healthy choices must start from early. Children, right? Because the American Heart Association now recognizes that we're giving our kids all of the salty snacks in their lunch boxes and for their meals. It's convenient, but in the long run, it's detrimental. So
Well, Dr. Gayle, hopefully I can make up some good points because I have a 10-year-old
Yes.
who, even when I have to cringe to slice it for him, he loves avocado. So it's in his diet, but he just can't get the mama to try it.
That's
But
okay.
Real quickly though, Carla, on the avocado thing, I was like Carla, like you couldn't pay me to eat avocado, but when I was going through that lifestyle change, the doctor kept telling me avocado, avocado. I had to, no lie, folks, train myself to like avocado. It wasn't like I just started eating. I had to train myself. Like it was such a mental thing. And now, I mean,
yeah, and there are other healthy fats, you know, the olive oil, the coconut oil. When you look at the Mediterranean diet, it's looking at an overall balanced diet where you have the largest proportions of your intake from vegetables, from plant-based sources, right? Peas and beans and legumes, with a little sprinkling of fish and rare intakes of red meat. You know, so it's the balance of it all. So we're friends. You can have your olive oil and your coconut oil.
I'm invited to Carla's avocado party in December.
And I do have those. I do incorporate those in my diets. But Dr. Gayle, often people ignore their stroke symptoms. They may not even realize they're having a stroke. What are the signs that someone is having a stroke? And if someone is in their presence, what should they do?
Okay, so you're right. Sadly, 25% of strokes are silent, and they're actually found incidentally when the physician does a CAT scan for something else. But we want everyone to know B fast, BEFAST. B is loss of balance. E, loss of vision in one or more eye or your eyes. F, facial weakness, one side, okay? And that's usually associated with arm weakness and or leg weakness, usually on the same side. S, difficulty with speech, so whether difficulty getting the words out or difficulty understanding what's being said, sorry. And then T, time to act. And what you have to do, if you are having those symptoms and you can, call 911, go straight to the hospital. If anyone is observing you with those symptoms, call 911 on their behalf. Now, the dangerous thing is you can have warning strokes where those symptoms come on and they go away within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You think you are okay, but that's very dangerous. You can have a full-blown stroke within as early as 2 weeks after having that warning stroke. So you should also go straight to the hospital when you've had your warning stroke. So it's be fast.
Now, Dr. Gayle, are Black Bermudians more at risk than any other demographic in Bermuda for stroke?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that. So I've been with Bermuda Hospitals Board since 2016. We are noticing a trend where, despite having a population split of 60% Afro-Bermudians, we do tend to see a higher proportion of Black Bermudians presenting with acute stroke than other ethnicities. And we are looking at that closely. That habit, though, is seen worldwide, where among Blacks, our health-seeking behaviors are poor. And it's health literacy is one thing, but I think culture is another thing too. We love to watch and wait. I'm going to watch and wait and see what's happening. We love to say, oh, we're fine, we feel well, without getting in the habit of having well visits to your physicians just to check annually to make sure you're okay. And knowing your numbers, I cannot stress that enough. We have to stop being passive, but be in the driver's seat for your own health.
Come on, Sherry, you're on mute. Come on, Sherry.
I had to turn it on mute because I had somebody in the background speaking, and I'm like, who is most at risk for having a stroke, and is it a trait? Is it bad health? And one of the reasons we're asking this question, my daughter's 29, and she was diagnosed with having a TIA a few months ago, and we had never heard of that. And she's 29. Why would she be experiencing
So when
something
we
like
see
that?
stroke occurring in the young, and that's characterized by an individual less than 40, we go in depth to search for a genetic influence. Some of those conditions end up being a high cholesterol or high triglyceride issue, which is inherited. Things like diabetes also have a genetic influence, but there are other blood, we call them blood conditions, clotting conditions that are prevalent, very common when we see stroke in the young. There are other conditions such as autoimmune diseases like SLE, lupus, we've heard those terms, that can also put you at risk, and heart disease. So oftentimes there is a congenital or a birth defect that may put you at risk of having a stroke in the young. So the simple answer is yes, there is a genetic link, and we actually see that permeating through many medical conditions. And typically we see stroke earlier in those conditions. And that is what is alarming in Bermuda, because we see a lot of 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds coming with acute stroke. And that's distressing.
So it's not necessarily bad health. It could be just a genetic.
In some instances, the rare instances, so less than 10%, it's genetic. But the other 80 to 90%, it is environmental, and it can be adjusted with deliberate health prevention strategies.
Okay. What is stroke recovery like in Bermuda? Do most people fully recover, and how long does it take, and what does it typically involve?
So it depends on the type of stroke that you have. There is a concept called a small vessel stroke. Those individuals account for about a third of our stroke patients, and they have a 60 to even 80% chance of a full recovery over a year, even 2 years. The danger is that we have another subtype called a large vessel stroke. Those individuals have a tremendous amount of disability, and oftentimes death occurs in 1 in 4 patients within 30 to 90 days. And so those, in addition to our bleeds, because remember you have 2 types of stroke, the blocked blood vessel as well as the bleeds. So between the large vessel strokes and the bleeds, those have the largest risk of death and disability. We start with our inpatient rehab once they have come in to our stroke unit. And I have to give all kudos to the stroke unit team. We have excellent nurses, physicians, and rehab specialists and physiatrists who tailor the rehab process, beginning inpatient and then continuing as an outpatient in our rehab day facilities. For those who we believe need really intensive, super specialized rehab, we often will refer those overseas for that purpose. So the rehab and recovery and reintegration can take up to 1 to 2 years. And for those 2 groups that I highlighted, the bleeds and the large strokes, the disability that is left is quite horrific.
Ouch. Let's go to some questions from the audience. Charles H. Jeffers too says, does donating blood reduce the probability of heart attacks and strokes in men?
The simple answer to that is no. Only in one situation where you actually have an excess of red blood cells, where releasing that or donating those red blood cells will decrease your likelihood of having blood clots, which can then lead to stroke or heart attack. but not routinely. For patients with sickle cell disease, having exchange transfusions on a regular basis, and our hematologist, Dr. Fakunli, does that for his HBSS patients, that decreases the risk of stroke in that population, but not so for the general public.
Okay. Jody Eve has asked, if one has never had high blood pressure or diabetes, but have learned they've had a few mini strokes and they were unaware of them, what should be the next course of action?
So you should ask, well, first of all, you should have the conversation with your primary care physician as to what exactly has caused this. If the primary care physician is unable to manage the complexity of your unique medical care, then you should be referred to the neurologist. The neurologist will go through a fine-tooth comb to figure out why this has happened and tailor medical management based on what is found, because sometimes you will need blood thinners, whether aspirin or Xarelto, some of the other newer ones, cholesterol lowering drug. Sometimes you may actually need a surgical intervention. And so these are all the higher level questions that the neurologist can answer or work along with the internist or the family physician to get to the root of your challenge. So first of all, it's good that you have found out so that you can be appropriately investigated.
Got it. We have another question from Renee Charlene Simmons. What is the cause of a baby having a stroke at birth? Would that be the stress of the mother? She's a teen now, but is left with disability to an arm and leg.
Yes, so there are genetic factors that will predispose an intrauterine event, and the majority of those genetic factors or even physiological factors of the mom relate to poor blood supply to the placenta and therefore poor blood supply to the baby. Oftentimes the baby itself will have abnormalities related to their blood or their blood vessel that puts them at risk of having a stroke. And so in those instances, the obstetrics and gynecologists and the geneticists, if you are in a healthcare facility that gives you access to that, would usually investigate the mom as well as the child. Because if it is a genetic issue, it may have implications for future fertility.
Interesting. We have another one, Antoinette Burgess Lewis. If you've had a mini stroke, is there a likelihood you will have a full-blown stroke?
Okay, so the term mini stroke, I'm assuming she means the warning stroke. So if you have had a warning stroke or a TIA, depending on how many times you've had it and how long the symptoms lasted, your risk of having a stroke can actually be 18% within 2 weeks to 3 months. So it is no joke if you have had any of those be fast symptoms, and I'm going to repeat them: immediate loss of balance, loss of vision in one or more eye, facial weakness, arm weakness, could also be leg weakness, difficulty speaking, even if it lasts for 5 minutes. Please go to the hospital. We need to investigate you because depending on your risk of a full-blown stroke can be as high as 18%. So it's very dangerous, warning strokes.
Is there a connection with Bell's palsy?
So Bell's palsy results in weakness on the entire half of your face. It is usually caused by a virus, okay, which damages the nerve that supplies all of the muscles on one side of your face. So it is not a stroke. However, there is a very rare type of stroke that can result in weakness on one entire aspect of the face, but it also has other symptoms like blurred vision and weakness of the arm or leg. So the simple answer is no, Bell's palsy is not a stroke.
All righty. And let's go through one more question from the audience. Isn't there a drug you can give to get rid of a stroke?
So there is no drug that we can give to get rid of a stroke. What I think they mean is if you present early, as soon as you recognize the stroke symptoms and you present early to the hospital, there is a drug called TPA, which is given directly in the veins, that has the potential of unblocking or clot busting, which then gives you a good chance of having a full recovery or an almost full recovery 3 months down the road. So that's one of the reasons why we need to recognize stroke symptoms and present immediately to the hospital so that you can be evaluated for that treatment. But we want to ensure that prevention permeates through all of Bermuda and indeed the world, because 1 in 4 persons over the course of our lifetime is actually at risk of a stroke globally. So prevention is key.
What was that number you said? 1 in
4. So if you go to 1 in 4, and if you go to the World Stroke Organization or you look at the World Stroke Day 2020 tagline, it's join the movement. 1 in 4 individuals are at risk of a stroke. And it says, don't be that one.
Wow. And Dr. Gayle, I have to say, I always thought that Bell's palsy was attached to stroke. So you just taught me something extra today.
Yes, but what we would want our patients to do is if they are having facial weakness, don't be at home thinking, I wonder if this is Bell's palsy. Come to the hospital. We will actually examine you and let you know what it is.
Okay. Before we let you go, Dr. Gayle, why is stroke awareness, like Stroke Awareness Week and Day, why is it so important? And where can people in Bermuda go for more information?
Okay, so it's more important. It's very important because over the course of the last 10 years, that figure that I've quoted has actually increased. When I was in residency, it was 1 in 8, a lifetime risk of 1 in 8. Now in 2020, it's a lifetime risk of 1 in 4. That tells us we are not making inroads on global prevention. And so if you go to our BHB website, you will see we have a stroke center link. And if you go there, you will get the BFAST information. You will see the stroke risk card that tells you all of the causes of stroke, and it tells you the target that you should aim for. And you will get an assessment as to whether you're high risk, intermediate risk, or low risk, and what to do. So you can also check out the American Heart Association website. Tons of stroke information, tons on ways to prevent it. So join the movement. 1 in 4 individuals will have a stroke over the course of our lifetime. Do not be the one.
Thank you for that. That hits home when you look at the screen and it's 4 of us on the screen.
Exactly.
And one of us don't like avocado and has high cholesterol.
And eats raisins in their cornbread.
Well, let's make some shifts.
Look, we always say, and it's repetitive when we have guests on this show, cultural and mindset shifts are needed for us to be collectively better. So Dr. Francene Gayle, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate having you. And we definitely would love to have you back to speak about some other things regarding health, because this is part of improving our community one episode at a time.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Gayle.
All right. Have a wonderful day. And we'll be, I'm going to reach out to you separately once I land, that is.
Okay.
An email so that we can get the be fast. Something like a poster that we can share on our social media channels.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much, Dr. Gayle. Have a great day.
Take care.
All righty. That was, wow.
That was awesome.
One of the most informative. I mean, wow, helpful.
My grandmother passed from a stroke, so we knew it's within our family. So with Sydney having her situation just a couple of weeks ago, it's like we're very aware. But Carla taught me something. I'm going to start eating an egg and an avocado.
No, seriously, people talk about all this cholesterol. And you know what else she used to do? She would pour vegetable oil, mozzarella, over her food because she said it aided with digestion. And you know that oil taste? But she lived to be 97. But the avocado thing, all jokes aside, I do try. And I think Nia made a suggestion to maybe put it in a smoothie. I'm going to try because I have high cholesterol and it hasn't gotten any lower in a year. And so I have to do something different. So if I can hide it from myself, then I got to do it.
I like that. Hide it from yourself. But these are the mind tricks we have to play with ourselves.
Yeah.
So I dig it. I look forward to hearing how that's going with you, Carla. So we have to get to the daily play, and then we'll do the Carla's going to give us some inspiration, and then I'm going to, with this big fat smile of mine, run off to catch a shuttle to the airport. Anything landing out there? Yeah, I'm at the airport hotel. Sorry. So what you got for us for the daily play, Sherry?
Okay, it's a British overseas territory.
Bermuda.
It's 39.4 square miles, and it strangely has a population of just under 5,000.
St. John or St. Bart's?
Its main industry is tourism, but they do produce textiles, rum, and electronic products.
Curacao.
It was colonized in 1632. Founded by that shady character, Christopher Columbus.
It's one of these saints, but which one? It's not St. Thomas, that's American.
Anybody help these guys? Because I'm running out of clues. Its national dish is goat water.
Anguilla?
Crickets.
Is a Saint something? Or is it Montserrat?
You just got it.
Yes! Give me that song, Mel. Give me that.
No, we haven't.
There you go, Carla. There you go. No, we didn't do Montserrat before. Carla's guessed Montserrat so many times that it feels like we've done it before.
No, listen, shut up. Montserrat, I know, is one of the least populated islands because remember it was
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a little something, a little something.
I guess.
It's not Nevis. My mom is from Nevis, and I know it's about 9,000. The population is more than 5,000.
We've done Nevis.
Wagwan.
Carla got it right. What you got for inspiration for us, Carla?
Put raisins in your cornbread. Not your potato salad. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Jim Rohn.
Indeed. I actually really like that. It's the only place you have to live. It's that one thing that impacts everything, like your outcome in life. So be careful what you put in, what you digest. Shari, any final words? Don't we have some birthday in your family or something?
Yes, Rita was yesterday, and I believe my Uncle Arnett's birthday is today, and I'd like to wish him a happy birthday. He will probably hear this or know of this, but there's a family situation going on. But happy birthday, Uncle Arnett.
Hold on. You said Cyrita, that's your sister, right?
Cyrita's my youngest sister.
Well, happy birthday to Cyrita.
Happy birthday.
The lady was yesterday.
Happy birthday yesterday to Cyrita from everybody at the Daily Hour. And Carla, what you got for us? Any final words?
No, just always be kind. And although Jamal always contests this, when someone asks you when you ask someone how they're doing, take a moment and listen to what they say. Jamal, have a safe trip. Have a great time. No, we'll see him tomorrow. I'll see him. What's today? Thursday. But I can't wait for you to look like a raisin on Monday.
How long for? You just a week over the weekend?
Just a little short one, but
it's vacation. Who cares?
Yeah, I'll make every moment worth it. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the one of the contestants for the OBA chairmanship, Catherine Kemp. Then Monday we'll have her opponent, Justin Matthias. We also have Dr. Maria Seaman confirmed for next week as well. So looking good. There's a U.S. election taking place next week, so we'll be, I guess, talking about that a lot. But all of that's going to be happening after I get back from vacation. So on that note, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again for you tomorrow. One of us from gloomy Manchester and the other, what? The other
such a hater.
From sunny Antigua. Peace out, my friends.
Thanks for tuning in to The Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House. All recorded episodes and highlights can be found at thedailyhour.com. Stay connected with us by following us at The Daily Hour on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.